Okay, good morning. Last time we studied 2 poems by George Herbert. This is the altar, right? The poem is called shape poem or pattern poem. It looks like what? Altar, right? Altar. A broken altar, Lord, the servant rears, made of a heart and cemented with tears, whose parts are as thy hand did frame. No workman's tool has touched the same. Her heart alone is such a stone, as nothing but thy power doth cut. Wherefore each part of my hard heart meets in this frame to praise thy name, that if I chance to hold my peace, this stone to praise thee may not cease. Oh, let thy blessed sacrifice be mine, and sanctify this altar to be thine. I have the reactions, your essay. I got about half a dozen essays here, and there are 3 essays about altar. Right? altar. 장성현, the altar. This poem is actually the most interesting poem I've ever read. At first sight, the poem caught my attention because the whole poem looks like the shape of an altar. I could feel the writer's creativity. Another interesting thing is that rhythm of the poem changes. At first, it has normal rhythm, but when the poem gets to the short lines, the rhythm gets faster. Overall, I got the feeling as if the writer is giving this poem to God on an altar. Oh, interesting, right? And actually, I got 2 essays by the same writer, Israel. This is the essay done at home, and this was done in class. And this one is better, I think. Okay, I'm going to read both of the essays. The homework. As a servant of God, the speaker is make an altar with his heart. Thus, this altar is an invisible altar that represents his loyalty to God. He's saying his faith is so strong that it's like a stone and no one can break his faith. And this one is the reaction. More interesting. The speaker's state changes as the width of stanza changes. Interesting, right? The speaker's state changes as the width of stanza changes. The longer the stanza is, the richer the poet's mind is. Completing this poem is to complete the wings. He shall advance the flight and fly away with the love of God. Very interesting, right? And altar. There is another essay. Shingayan. Well, the poem conveys the devotion to God, toward God, to emphasize Herbert's intention to build an altar to the Lord. The poem it was written visibly in the form of an altar. To praise God, Herbert builds a sacrifice. The altar is made of broken material, and this broken material is from within. Towards the end, readers realize that the altar and the offering are Herbert himself. Good, very good. Okay. And about the other poem by the same poet, about Easter Wing. Okay, Easter Wing. Okay, this is the east wing. This is also a shape poem, and originally the poem was printed white. In what way? Sideways, right? Right. If you look at this way, it looks like wing, right? Wing spread, two wings spread, right? East wings. Lord, who created man in Wilson's door, though foolishly he lost the same, decaying more and more till he became most poor. With thee, oh, let me rise as larks harmoniously, and sing this day thy victories. Then shall the fall further the flight in me. My tender age is in sorrow did begin, and still with sickness and shame thou didst so punish sin, that I became most thin. With thee let me combine, and feel this day thy victory. For if I imp my wing on thine, affection shall avenge the flight in me. Okay, there is the reaction by your classmates. Okay, probably this is the best grade so far. One of you got the grade of excellent, right? And I think she got the grade of superb last time, right? So perfect. Okay, I'm going to read it later. East wing. 신가요? East wings. Along with the altar, the poem also seems to be emphasizing the visual effect. The shape of the poem draws attention. Draws the reader's attention, as it seems a pair of wings viewed from sideways. Herbert's desire to rise to heaven, to be with God, is emphasized by the image of the poem. Easter is the time when people pray to be near God. The God believes players to be wings that will bring us. It doesn't make sense. The last one. Okay, anyway. Okay, 김난유. I was really attracted to this beautiful and solemn poem. The wing-shaped structure is peculiar, and how the poem flows fluently with it is even brilliant. I couldn't get my impression that the poet is trying to force the poem to fit into the structure. Rather, the lines got shorter without any awkwardness, leaving the intensity of the poem stronger as they describe the fall of human and then of the poet. As the lines get longer, however, the poet begins to rise with the resurrection of Christ and his victory. The title of the poem is also impressive, as the Easter day is a day for Christians to celebrate Christ's resurrection, which gives them the chance to overcome their sins. So the Easter wings would lift man out of sins with its pair of wings. 김난유. 김난유? Yeah, 김난유. Okay. And Pyonjuan, this is the essay done in class. Pyonjuan. Easter wing. Each day is the day when the Lord rose again. In this poem, the speaker must rise with the Lord, saying that God created man without lacking, but men themselves became poor. The speaker is talking about the sins and all. With the wings, he would be rescued. Like the shape of the poem, the meaning get clear as there are words like flight, rise, wing, etc. This is a grade of excellence. 홍문장, Easter wings. As a shaped verse, The shape of the wings enhances the meaning of the poem. When the line stretches, man is in wealth and store, but it gradually shrinks as he he foolishly decays, eventually becoming most poor and most thin. However, the line begins to extend again as the man prepares to lark and fly with God. Herbert aligns the flows of the meaning with the shape and rhythm of the poem. Very beautiful. Okay, this is the most famous Cavalier poet, Richard Lovelace. Richard Lovelace, he died young, right? Was an English poet in the 17th century. He was a Cavalier poet who fought on behalf of the king, Charles I, during the Civil War. His passionate work are the To Althea from prison and to Lucasta to going to the war, or going to the war, misspelled, right? I think that's an older form, maybe. Richard Lovelace was born on the 9th December 1617. His exact birthplace was unknown, and maybe in Woolwich, Kent, or Holland. He was the oldest son of Sir William Lovelace and Anne Barne Lovelace. He had 4 brothers and 3 sisters. His father was from a distinguished military and legal family. The Lovelace family owned a considerable amount of property in Kent. His father, Sir William Lovelace, was a member of the Virginia Company and an incorporator in the Second Virginia Company in 1609. He was a soldier and died during the war with Spain and Holland in the siege of Gronia a few days before the town fell. Richard was only 9 years old when his father died. Richard's father was the son of Sir William Lovelace and Elizabeth Archer, who was the daughter of Mabel Roth and Edward Archer. Okay, I'll skip. Richard Lovelace's mother was the daughter of Sir William Bayne and the granddaughter of Sir George Bayne III, the Lord Mayor of London. Okay, Richard Lovelace's mother. Okay, Richard Lovelace's mother was also the daughter of Anne Sandys. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'll skip. College career. Lovelace attended the University of Oxford. This is the full name. We say Oxford University. Actually, the formal name is the University of Oxford, right? Or in short, we say Oxford, right? Richard Lovelace attended the University of Oxford and was praised by one of his contemporaries, Anthony Wood, for being the most amiable and beautiful person that ever I held. A person also of innate modesty, virtue, and courtly deportment, which made him then, but especially after when he retired to the great city, much admired and adored by female sex. At the age of 18, during a 3-week celebration at Oxford, he was granted the degree of Master of Arts. While at school, he tried to portray himself more as a social connoisseur rather than a scholar, continuing his image of being a cavalier. Being a cavalier poet, Lovelace wrote to praise a friend or a fellow poet, to give advice in brief or on love, I think, to define a relationship, to articulate the precise amount of attention a man owes a woman, to celebrate beauty, to persuade to love. Lovelace wrote a comedy. The scholars, while at Oxford, he then left for the University of Cambridge for a few months when he met Lord Goring, who led him into political trouble. Okay, politics, prison, because he was courtier, right? Okay. Lovelace Poetry was often influenced by his experiences with politics and associated with important figures of his time. At the age of 13, Lovelace became a gentleman, a waiter extraordinary to the king, and at 19 he contributed a poem to a volume of elegies commemorating Princess Catherine. Okay, I'll go to the next paragraph. In 1641, Lovelace led a group of men to seize and destroy a petition for the abolition of episcopal rule, which had been signed by 15,000 people. The following year, he presented the House of Commons with, political literature. Richard Lovelace first started writing while he was a student at Oxford and wrote about 200 poems from that time until his death. His first work was a drama titled The Scholars. The play was never published, but however, it was performed at college and then in London. In 1640, he wrote a tragedy entitled Soldier, which was based on his own military experience. When serving in Bishop's Wars, he wrote the sonnet to General Goring, which is a poem of Bacchanalian celebration rather than a glorification of military action. One of his extremely famous poems is To Lucasta Going to the Wars, written in 1640 and exposed in his first political action. Okay, we are going to read this poem. William Winstanley, who praised much of Richard Lovelace's work, thought highly of him and compared him to an idol. I can compare no man so like this Colonel Lovelace as Sir Philip Sidney, of which it is an epitaph made of him. This is epitaph. His most quoted excerpts are from the beginning of last stanza of the To Althea from Prison, and also at the end of Lucasta, Going to the Wars. Okay, not very long poem. To Lucasta, Going to the War. Tell me not, sweet, I am unkind, that from the nunnery of thy chaste breast and quiet mind to where and arms I fly. It's quite relatively easy to understand, quite simple, right? Tell me not, don't tell me. Tell me not, sweetheart. Tell me not, sweet, I'm unkind. Don't tell me I'm unkind, right? Tell me not, sweet, I'm unkind. That from the runnery of thy chaste breast and quiet mind, I fly what? I fly from the runnery of thy chaste breast and quiet mind. So I fly away, fly from. Fly where? From to, right? From to. I fly from the runnery of thy chaste breast and quiet mind to war and arms. Sweetheart, don't tell me that I'm kind, because I fly from you to war, right? So, war and arms. Arms, what does it mean? Well, fighting, right? Arms. True, yeah, sure. The new mistress now I chase. I chase a new mistress now. True. It's true that I chase a new mistress now. Comma, opposition, right? the first four in the field. True, I chase a new mistress now. The first four in the field, semicolon. And with a stronger faith, I embrace sword, horse, and shield. Right? I embrace sword, horse, shield. Great. Right? I embrace a sword, horse, shield. So embrace what? Actually, I embraced you, right? Embraced. Now I embraced weapons, right? So with a stronger faith, I embrace sword, horse, shield. Yeah, this inconstancy, very interesting, inconstancy. You fall in love with another woman, right? You love a woman A, then you fall in love with woman B. That's inconstancy, right? Inconstancy, right? So, this inconstancy, right? Fall in love with war, right? This inconstancy is such as you too shall adore. You also will adore this, right? I could not love thee, dear, so much. I love not honor, I more. What does it mean? I love you, and I love war as much, right? So this is often quoted. Written in 1649. Okay. So if you read it, it's very musical. Tell me now, sweet, I'm unkind, that from the nunnery of thy chaste breast and quiet mind, to warring arms I fly. True, a new mistress now I chase, the first four in the field. Now with a stronger faith embrace the sword, the horse, the shield. Yet in this inconstancy is such as you too shall adore. I could not love thee, dear, so much love I, not honor more. So, this is one of the most famous poems by him. And the other poem is very beautiful, and it's longer. It is called Grasshopper. 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 To my noble friend, Mr. Charles Cotton. There is a footnote here, footnote 1. Lovelace's friend, Charles Cotton, who was scholar, man of letters, and father of Montaigne's translator, may have appeared to the poet an industrious and prudent ant. Charles Cotton is compared to an ant, and himself compared with what? Compared to the melodious and improvident grasshopper. The circumstances of the poem are evidently those of the interregnum, when winter of the Puritanism seemed to the royalist to be settling over all civilized feeling in England. There is a footnote, another footnote, puppy, opiate, sleeping potion. Okay. Oh, thou that swing'st upon the waving hair of some well-filled autumn beard, drunk every night with a delicious tear, dropped thee from heaven. where now the art reared. The joys of earth and air are thine entire, that with thy feet and wings dost often fly, when thy poppy works thou dost retire.